Hello, it's Stephen here back with another match preview. The games keep coming thick and fast, and as soon as it feels like I finish one watch along, another preview follows the next day. It's not the next day, there's been 2 days, but it feels like that way, doesn't it? Manchester City play West Brom tomorrow in a game that we really probably need to be winning. So today, I'm going to go through this game and preview the team news, the lineup, the opposition view, and all that kind of stuff, and chat about it in a little bit of detail, and hopefully come up with a prediction nice and positive. I'm going to start, as ever, with the overview, looking at what this kind of game means and the importance of this kind of game and all that kind of stuff. And I want to say a very quick word, by the way, about the Champions League draw. Of course, we drawn Borussia Mönchengladbach in the last 16, which on paper, at very least, looks a relatively decent draw. Now, of course, there are no easy teams at this stage of the competition because they're all in the Europa League now. Looking at you, United. Sorry, I had to say that even though they drew against us the other day. But no, generally speaking, there was no easier teams. When you look through the list of teams available for Manchester City to get, this is one of the ones that seemed a little bit more manageable in theory anyway. But of course, they're not absolute nobodies. They have been round mid-table in the Bundesliga this season, but they've still got, obviously, you know, Zakaria, they've got Marco Rose, they've got a really good squad. We play really good football, and they've got Thuram as well. They basically are a very good team. Who are good on the count as well, from what I can recall. So we should basically be in for a bit of a game here. But in theory, hopefully, this new defensively sound Manchester City has a little bit too much about them. But that's a story for another day. But I wanted to quickly mention that. But onto this game, though, in the more immediate future. Obviously, we're currently sat at 9th in the table. Well, West Brom are currently battling relegation down in 19th. As they struggle, basically, for positive results so far this season. Coming into this game, obviously, we do need a result. We're only 6 points behind Spurs, though. So as negative as things have felt, we're only 6 points behind Spurs with a game in hand. And I think it's fair to say as well that our rivals recently have all been very up and down as well. Liverpool dropping points, Spurs dropping points this weekend, of course. Chelsea dropping points this weekend as well. Obviously, United did, though we did at the same time. But the point is, not everyone's been perfect this season. It is a lesser table this year compared to last season. I mean, at this point last season, I think Liverpool just won a shitload of games. I'm pretty certain they had. Let me find out. I remember looking at it. Liverpool, had won 11 out of 12 and drawn 1 at this point in the season, where Spurs currently at the top had won 7 out of 12. So there's a massive difference in quality this season compared to that. And that's also representative across Europe, by the way, when you go through the tables compared to last season. So it's a weird year, but we're still very much within reaching distance. And I do think we're actually improving overall compared to the start of the season, even if the other day was frustrating. And we do actually have a pretty good record against the Baggies in general. We've won like our last 14 games in a row in all competitions against the side, so that's pretty impressive. And this one really should be one that we're going to hopefully win. You know, obviously there's a lot of pressure on us because we've got a very difficult game away to Southampton at the weekend, but we have to hopefully go into this game with a professional attitude and a thirst for goals and a hunger to win this game, because if we do, surely we should have too much. In terms of the team news, it's pretty much as you were, really. You know, nothing really has changed on that front. Zinchenko is still out. Garcia is still out. I do wonder about Zinchenko, by the way. I wouldn't be surprised if we sold him at some point, because I think it's tough for him to get in the squad in general anyway, even without injuries. But the big news really is that Aguero has traded. Now, of course, he missed the game the other day, allegedly with gastroenteritis, and Guardiola has said that he'll be assessed on match day to see whether he can be involved in this clash at the Etihad Stadium. And I wouldn't really be surprised if he is on the bench list. I can't really see him starting personally, but I think Aguero should be in the squad because I think he's over his stomach bug now, which does, of course, bring me on to the lineup. And this one is interesting. I can't decide. I mean, I'm going to guess a lineup, but it'll probably be miles wrong once again. We know Ederson will be in goal, of course. Not in the best form recently, but he is the number one for justifiable reasons. So he'll be in goal, of course. I think Kyle Walker will start this one at right back again after a few games, kind of in and out of the team recently, so I think he'll start this one. I can see Diaz and Stones playing again, maybe. Though I am tempted to say Laporte might come into the team here. I think Guardiola might give Laporte a game. But Diaz and Stones are very good the other day, so maybe not. Maybe we won't see any changes on that front. So I'm going to say Diaz and Stones with the potential for Laporte to come in. Unfortunately, Ake might even miss out on the bench again, which is mad, but that's just life with a squad like this. Then at left back, I honestly think Mendy will play. I think Mendy deserves a start as well. I think he's been in good form. And I thought he should have been involved a bit more against United, personally, to offer a natural bit of whip. And at home, at the Etihad against a team that doesn't score loads of goals, I think it's sensible to go on the attack, and Mendy allows you to stretch the pitch there. So I think Mendy will play. And after that, given The other day with Fernandinho playing, I can't see him starting 2 games in a row in the same week. So I'm going to say it'll be... I'm going to say Gundogan and Rodri will start this game. I mean, I want Bernardo in there maybe to get a game, but I think it'll be Gundogan and Rodri holding the midfield with Kevin De Bruyne ahead of them as per usual. It could be that Kevin's rested. Maybe Foden or Bernardo will get a game, but I think it will be Kevin De Bruyne. Then up front, I've got a feeling I'm going to go bold and say Foden will start. Why not? Give Foden a game. I think Torres might get a game as well, actually. I think Torres might start. Torres and Foden with Sterling and Morris having a bit of a rest. And Gabriel Jesus through the middle is pretty much inevitable there. I mean, it's not a team I would want to see. I would love to see, once again, I would love to see Cancelo at right back, so a little bit of attacking impetus going forward with Mendy at left back, and then obviously Stones and Diaz I'm fine with. Then I would love to see... maybe Bernardo alongside Gundogan with maybe Kevin De Bruyne as well there. And then probably I would like to see, Foden, Jesus and Torres. That's what I'd really like to see, to be honest. I think that would work for me, but I don't think we're going to see that. I don't think we're going to see that at all, unfortunately. I think it'll be, obviously... I wouldn't be surprised if Sterling and Morris do actually start. Anyway, in terms of the opposition view, I'm going to send you over first to Connor from West Brom Fan TV. Connor runs a channel there. Big up to Connor. Go subscribe to his channel as well. He's a good lad, Connor. Thank you so much, Connor, for your thoughts.
Alright guys, it's Connor from West Brom Fan TV here, giving my thoughts on the game on Tuesday, 8 o'clock kickoff at the Etihad Stadium. Now, for me, I don't really think West Brom have got much chance. Man City are probably one of the best clubs in the league, probably one of the best clubs in world football. With the players they've got, the likes of Mahrez, Jesus, all the other players what they've got, I don't think we really have much of a chance. Obviously, we really need to get 3 points on the board from somewhere, but I don't see it being against Man City. I'm going to go with a 3-0 Man City win. I'm going to say Jesus to get one, Mahrez to get one, and I'm going to say Diaz from a corner. But I absolutely don't see us having any chance against Man City on Tuesday night. But hopefully I'm wrong. Cheers for having me on the channel, and good luck for the rest of the season.
And there's Connor's little take on the game. Connor obviously is not feeling overly optimistic. And to be honest, you can't really blame him when you look at West Brom's results so far. They're currently sat down... in 19th, only escaping the bottom of the table because Sheffield United only have an abysmal 1 point out of 12 games so far. That's shockingly bad. I forgot how bad they were. They're already 1 point from 12 games, Sheffield United. It's a little bit better for West Brom. They've got 3 draws and 1 win, but they have got the second worst record in the league for a reason. They just they are not very good. They can't really score goals, unfortunately. They have like the third. I think Burnley and Sheffield United are the only teams who scored less than them. So they don't really score many, West Brom. And it's been a very difficult time for them, if being honest. They recently lost to Newcastle 2-1. That wasn't a great performance. They got battered at home by Crystal Palace 5-1. United beat them. They beat Sheffield United. That's their only result so far this season, by the way. Beating Sheffield United, who look to be set for one of the worst Premier League totals of all time currently. Got beat by Spurs, got beat by Fulham. Who else have beat them so far this season? It hasn't been good. They drew with Brighton. They drew with Burnley. They got beat by Southampton. They drew with Chelsea as well, of course. That was a good result for them. 3-3 early on in the season. Got beat 5-2 by Everton. It hasn't been going great for them. And if being honest, I don't actually know loads about West Brom. I mean, I've not really watched. I mean, for what I can tell, I've done a little bit of research. Conor Gallagher seems a pretty good player for them. I think he's the guy on loan from Chelsea. Correct me if I'm wrong there. I think he might be. They've obviously got as well a few recognisable faces in Kieran Gibbs, the ex-Arsenal fullback. They've got Jake Livermore as well, who feels like he's been around for absolutely forever. And they've also got Ivanovic as well, the ex-Chelsea guy, is about 48 years old or something like that. So, fair play, man. Fair play. They've got some decent players there, some familiar names at very least. They've also got as well... who else did they got? Pereira is a good player as well. He's one of their better players, to be fair to them, for what I know of him. And Dean Garner is kind of always a little bit dangerous. They are missing a couple of players. No Connor Townsend, no Hal Robson-Kanu. Sam Field remains a doubt as well. Now, I think Pereira is actually suspended. Now, I think he is suspended, so ignore that. So it hasn't been going great for them at the moment. Charlie Austin, I mean, he's good for a goal occasionally. Him and Kieran Gibbs were substitutes at half-time against Newcastle, so they could be back for a start as well. So, overall, it hasn't been a good time for West Brom since the start of this season. I mean, in terms of my prediction, I think West Brom don't really have too much going forward, which could hamper their chances of getting to Manchester City. Obviously, I'm not going to take it for granted, but we have won 14 games in a row against them, and we should be beating West Brom. I'm going to feel confident about this game. Even though it's frustrating against United, I'm expecting a relatively comfortable victory. I'm going to say 4-0 or something like that. I do think we'll go for him, and I do think it might be a little bit too much for West Brom to deal with, and I think they will buckle under pressure, because it's going to be a difficult game for them to kind of... it should be a difficult game for him. We should make it a difficult game. Having said that, Ivanovic, Ivanovic, and you got bloody Charlie Austin will probably play, and watch him scrape a 1-1 draw or something like that. Don't do it to me, Man City. But I'll be logical and say a Man City win. I'm going to go for 4-0. Relatively comfortable. Fingers crossed I am right. Guys, let me know down in the comments what you make of it. And go check out the... go check out. I will be doing a live watch along tomorrow. There'll probably be a link on screen which you can get ready and prepare and bookmark for tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Also got to 47,000 today. Thank you so much. Do keep going. Get EK to 50k. I want to get there very, very soon. Once again, thank you to Connor. Go subscribe to his channel. It'll be on screen right now. Big love to all the patrons as well. And I'll see you in a bit.